right, so we are here in one of our short game classes. We've got Jeff. It is actually a nice day, huh? And you're getting a double private lesson because no one came to class except for you because we're working on something not exciting, short putts. But this is where you make the money makers, right? You know what they say about drive for show? What do they say? Do you know what, Jeff?
No.
This is an old one, drive for show and putt for dough.
Okay.
All right. Jeff's a newer golfer. All right, so we are working on short putts. We're working on putts inside of about 5 feet here. And the first thing we've got is we've got a putting station to help set us up for success. So Pat, if you come around just down the target line this way, what we've been doing is we have got this putting mirror with a line on it and square edges. And this putting mirror has got us lined up on our actual line we want to roll the putt on. Now this putt, I believe it breaks a little bit right to left, Pat, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got us lining up a little bit like right edge or inside right edge, okay? And every time you roll a putt, Jeff, it's easy for you to get correct alignment by using the alignment stick and then using the putting mirror. Now the putting mirror also helps us with eye alignment as well as eye position, our eye position. So if you were to look at, say, PGA Tour players, the majority of tour players have their eyes, I think now the majority actually have their eyes a little bit inside of the target line. A lot of them have their eyes right on top of the target line. We do not want our eyes outside. And so this mirror helps us with that as well. Okay, so we're set up for success just having the line here. Can you switch over to this angle now for me, Pat, face on? So let's just say all you can do is set up your little alignment station. And by the way, when you go to do this, you'll have to roll a few putts to realize and figure out where it should be lined up. Trial and error, okay? So I'm lined up on my target. Take a look at my stroke. I'm gonna make a very bad putting stroke here. Okay, we would never want to teach that stroke, but the ball still went in. So even if we've got flaws going on in our technique, if we're lined up correctly and we can roll our ball on our line, we can make a ton of putts. Okay, but let me just talk about one little fundamental here that we're going to work on. And Jeff, we're going to work on this with you. Did you notice, Jeff, anything about that putting stroke that looked a little bit different from what you would normally see us do? What'd you notice? Yeah, so you notice that the putter head passed my hands. Okay, so we want to try to keep this putter moving. And you'll notice here, if I do this like a pure pendulum, see how the putter head does pass, right? The thing is, with the putter being so short and us holding it in our hands, we're not going to have that kind of a stroke. We're going to want a stroke where the grip end of the putter is moving through impact. Okay? Now they used to make a putter where you could just hold it up here like this and then putt like this. Have you seen that putter before, Jeff?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, it works out so well that they banned it. It was great because you literally just kept the end of the putter up here and you could do that like this. Some guys still putt that way, but it's kind of tough because they can't anchor the putter against their body, have to keep it out. So we, in our short game classes, we teach just a conventional stroke to most people. Can you see, Jeff, what the grip end of the putter is doing here? As opposed to that, right? Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is I'm actually imagining that this grip was extended and the extension of the grip went up into my belly. So the putter is going to go ahead and pass me a little bit, but I'm not going to let my left wrist or my lead wrist here break down. So I'm not going to be using my hands to strike the ball. I'm going to let my shoulders continue rocking, and I'm going to just keep the butt end of the club consistently pointing back at me like that. Does that make sense what I'm doing there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and roll my putt on my good line. Now, a lot of times when you're focusing on making the stroke, you may not do a good enough job of focusing on making the putt, and you might miss some putts. But you want to practice this nice pendulum type stroke enough so that it's automatic, and then you can keep that good habit while you're practicing your putts, okay? So let's give it a try here. So I'm setting up with my eyes a little bit inside the ball. I've got more weight in my front foot than my back foot, and I'm just going to keep my feet steady as I go ahead and just rock my shoulders. Tick, tock. Okay, now I actually liked the line there. Why didn't that go in, Jeff?
Your face was a little off.
Nope. Why didn't it go in, Pat? Didn't hit it hard enough. So if I miss the putt, it should go by about 1.5 feet. So if I would have hit that harder, it would have held its line better. Does that make sense, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that one hit at a better speed and boom, it went in the hole. All right, so by the way, every putt you make or attempt has got an optimum line for the speed you're hitting the putt. The less break we want to play, the firmer we're going to have to hit it. Does that make sense? And we call that differentiation of the correct line with the correct speed, we call that touch. And we practice that a lot more when we're doing putts that are a little bit longer than this. All right? So to help you really get a handle on the short putts, make sure your alignment is on point and you know where you're lined up, and you want to prove yourself you can roll your ball on your line. And then one little tip to help us do that is going to be weight in the front side and keep that butt end of the club pointing at us like uniformly. Don't get it pointing back behind us like this. All right? I hope that helps. We'll see you next time.